So let's continue to deepen this state that we're creating, just coming back into a meditative state. Maybe let your eyes go closed again, feeling your feet on the floor. And coming back to the breath. Just feeling your weight. And just begin to notice what's alive in your body, what's moving. And just begin to notice anywhere there's tension, movement. Lady, could you turn it down just a little, please? Thank you. Thanks. Perfect. And just begin to scan through the body, take an inner picture of the body. What's happening in my body right now? We've been talking about the war and emotions and feelings. What's actually going on in the body? Kind of zoom in. Notice where there's movement, where there's lack of movement. Maybe there's numbness. And numbness is never nothing. It's serving a function that we don't yet know what it is. But to just acknowledge that there are places that are numb in my body. Notice any tension, any pain. Just noticing what's aware. Where is awareness? And notice when we shift from attuning to the body and feeling the interiority, and we say, oh, what emotions are present in my body? How that awareness shifts. And notice what's there. Fear, anger, grief, sadness, joy, compassion, shame, guilt. And just try to feel into that. And perhaps you don't feel any emotions. Perhaps there's a numbness. Again, that's important information. Just allow ourselves to be with the emotion and see if you can locate in the body where that emotion is. Maybe there's conflicting emotions. You can hold both. We have that capacity. And then again, shifting the attention to the mind and noticing what's happening in my mind. Is it still? Is it restful? Is it busy, grasping, strategizing, trying to figure things out? And just like a glass with muddy water, how the mud settles to the bottom, just let your attention settle. And feel the stillness as we share that stillness together. Then allow your mind to drop down into your heart. For the most part, we've had a coup. The mind has taken over the heart, but the heart is the by far stronger mind. We have the gut, the heart, and the mind. And the strongest is the heart. And just imagine that as you breathe into the heart, there's a flame in the center of the heart. And as you breathe in, watch the flame in the heart flicker and get brighter. And feel the warmth of the flame moving out through your body. And that all the cells, last week we talked about 50 trillion cells, 100 trillion atoms in each cell, all of them producing light, an electron orbit that produces light out to the edges of the universe. And allow that light to connect with the light of the rest of the people on this call. There's about 60 people here on this call. Just imagine 60 people around the world, and all of our light is connecting. Feel that light moving out into the communities, into the towns and countries, and just forming a light around the world. And let that light shine on all the shadows. Really bring the light and allow it to find the shadow areas, the areas of unintegrated past, the areas of wounding that's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. Imagine that humanity is finally waking up. There's a desire to integrate, to reconcile, to move into a time of post-traumatic learning and growth. As opposed to habitual reenactment of resentments, angers, blame, fear. Just all let the light just dissolve all of that. As you do, get a sense of an expanded self, both outward and inward, that capacity we talked about. That as we integrate our own shadows, our own fears, our own anger, our own grief, allow ourselves to feel it, not only is our capacity increasing, but the capacity of the global human. Finally, we're awakening to the absolute interconnectedness and interdependency of all life. It starts with me. Feel that sense as you breathe, continuing to breathe and opening the inner spaciousness. And send out that light to friends that are struggling. And to people who you would call your enemies or people you don't like. Recognize all these habitual patterns have been handed down from generation to generation, ancestor to ancestor. But what has also been handed down is resiliency, the capacity to be a force just by being present, being a force in the world. Being a light in the world. And imagine your friends and people who perhaps you're not so friendly with getting together to share your feelings, to share your common humanity, your common unity. It's a time to come together in community, to find our common unity. To live from a place of interdependency, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, interbeing. Everything we do impacts the world. Small little changes can make big changes in the world. The more we expand our capacity, the more we get into our birthright of our original goodness. The more present we become, the more emergent the future is, that we begin to live the future in the present. We are the collective, and the collective is rising. It's rising in the Ukraine, it's rising in Russia, it's rising in Canada, it's rising all over Europe. It's rising in Africa, Palestine, Afghanistan, South America. We are the collective. We're not separate. And so just feel that connection, a sense of being something way bigger than our story, than our narrative, than our identity. How would I be living my life if I woke up as peace and allowed life to live through me rather than fighting with life? And just in this still place, allow yourself to ask an essential question. What's an essential question in your life? What is essential? And maybe ask that question twice and just give it as an offering to the stillness. What is my essential question? Maybe that is the question. And let's just take a moment of silence to feel into that. And then, in your own time, let's begin to take a couple deep breaths. Feel our body again, our emotions. And as you're ready, let's just softly come back together.